I am somebody who, the moment I wake up, I have anxiety and I wake up with my cortisol levels raised, and it's a journey to learn how to heal and regulate my nervous system. But the moment I step outside in the sun, the moment I feel the sun rays on my body, everything washes away. I instantly feel grounded. There's research that backs up the sun, the benefits of it. And I also want to get into, the woo woo of it because that's who I am. I love to bridge the physical world with the spiritual world. So let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the For Me podcast with your host, me, Irene Johnny. I do this for the little me, and hopefully, through my words and my presence, I help somebody feel seen, heard, and a little less alone. And honestly, hopefully, we can learn to love ourselves so we can embody and live the best life possible, the life that we know that we deserve, because the healing journey is the spiritual journey. So, yeah, okay. It's funny how your body naturally knows what to do when you are experiencing anxiety. I kind of discovered sitting out in the sun first thing in the morning during COVID. Right, we had nothing to do. Everybody was at their house, and I had anxiety. I've always had anxiety my entire life, so I decided to, it might feel good to just go stand outside. And so since COVID, that's what I do in the mornings. That's kind of my morning routine is the moment I wake up or after I get dressed because I go to the gym in the mornings, I go outside and I stand in the sun. And I ask the sun to heal my body spiritually and physically of any sickness, to ground my body, to regulate my nervous system. And I stand there and I allow the rays, like the sun's energy, to hit my body. I allow my body to absorb it and feel it. And ever since then, I will say that I do feel a lot better in the mornings because I do struggle. When I wake up, I have immense chest pain, and I wake up a lot of the times like I'm surviving still, right? Although that I have done the inner work, the shadows, the remnants of what I've experienced growing up shows in my nervous system, and it does help, I will say so. And I know that there's research that talks about how the body regulates, or it balances out your circadian rhythm and so it's your melatonin and your serotonin, right? So it helps with sleep. And if you're like me, I experience insomnia, and it's gotten a lot better, but also that has a lot to do with me no longer ingesting caffeine, which is another story for another time, but it helps regulate your circadian rhythm. And I've noticed the times when I was inside, because this past year when I was in Hawaii, I was inside a lot because where I lived specifically was kind of like living in downtown LA. And I didn't fuck with it. I didn't vibe with it. I'm very grateful for this beautiful experience, but my surroundings were not the best in that sense. And so for a whole year, I was kind of inside all day, every day. And I this past year, I felt it. I felt myself becoming very anxious and distracted. And any moment that I had to kind of go outside and be in the sun, I did. But now that I'm back in California, I'm practicing this every day again, and it just feels a lot better, you guys. All I can talk about is how I feel and what my body knows and my experience, and I feel a lot better. I have also written some stuff down to kind of talk about the sign a little bit. So, to get into like the scientific, I guess, aspect of it before we get into the woo woo, just my own deeper experience of it. So, the sunlight triggers the release of nitric oxide into your bloodstream, right? So, basically, what this does is when it releases nitric oxide, it relaxes your blood vessels, and so when it relaxes your blood vessels, it lowers your blood pressure. And like all this research about hugging trees and, meditating in water and all this stuff, the sun has a lot of good energy. It has a lot of good, I suppose, um, benefits to back it up. If you want to go do your own research on it, I would recommend to go do that because If you decide to spend 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute in the sun a day and be present with your body and speak your intentions for the day, because the way that you start your day matters. And if you decide to do that, I truly believe you as an individual, as a person, as discovering yourself, it's going to change. You're going to change, you're going to evolve. And so we're going to tie this into me, my spiritual journey right now. The sun right now is helping me in my awakening. And I so wish I talked about trees back in 2024 when I started this YouTube, because during that specific time, the trees were helping me. And I was sitting back, and kind of meditating on it and speaking to spirit and myself. And I had this realization. I was like, wow, I have used the elements of the earth through a lot of chapters of my life. And we're going to talk about the trees for a little bit. As I got older, when I had moved out, I was in solitude. I was living all by myself, and I was doing the inner work. And I don't have friends. So, and by then I was working. I worked for myself. So the only human interaction I got at that time was going to the gym, and that's why I went every day. But the trees, the trees were my friends. And I know that sounds really fucking weird, but I'm being dead ass. I'm being honest. The trees were my friends. And during that time of my loneliness, I used the trees to help me understand myself. And during that time, I had a friend who is very in tune, very in touch. And I remember I had gotten a reading from her once, and she had told me, and she didn't know I was hugging trees, because it's online friendships, right? Or just online acquaintances, I suppose. And she was like, keep hugging trees. The trees know you. The trees talk about you. They're helping you with your awakening. They're helping you a lot. So they know you're hugging them. And I was just, it was deep confirmation that what I was doing, people staring at me, people looking at me like I'm weird. But what I felt intuitively, spiritually was aligned. And it was. And that's the magic that I talk about. There's magic in this world beyond the physical reality. If you get over what people think, if you get over the cringe, if you decide to not give a shit what societal standards tell you to be like, there is a lot of magic in this world that you can use, and Mother Nature is one of them. And so the trees were my friends. The trees helped me ground. The trees helped me not give a shit what people thought about me. I would go and I would sit and I would talk to the trees about my life, about my problems. And I don't know if you seen any of my videos, but I always stick out my hand and the leaves would touch my hand. And it would take a few minutes, but the trees would touch my hand. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful connection between us, human form, and we're spirit, but the trees is a physical form in a different way, manifested in a different way here on earth. To see that connection, that unity, because we are unity, we are created from the same energy. It's beautiful. Nature can give you information. And as you guys know, I have a tree tattoo, and I got this tree tattoo probably 2-3 years before I even started doing that with trees, talking to trees, hugging trees. And it was just alignment, beautiful, so beautiful. But maybe I'm gonna get in another video. I just had a realization. A lot of my tattoos that I got them years before they actually truly meant something. Before I actually went through that chapter of my life. So that's kind of foreshadowing a little bit. That's actually kind of cool. But to get back on topic, the sun. Well, no, okay, let's back it up. After the trees, I ended up moving to Hawaii. And so I was floating in the water in Hawaii for a while. I could have utilized the water a lot better, but I was using the element water. And I got the same reading from the same girl. And she was like, are you by water a lot? She's like, because the water is helping you. Water is helping you. She was like, you're gonna have a premonition in front of water, and I see you feeling the energy with your hands, something with your hands. And it was funny because during that time I was floating in the water in Hawaii, in the ocean. I was floating every morning at 7 a.m. I would go and I would float and I would put my hands through, ripple through the water, and I would ask the water, the ocean spirit, right, to absorb any negative energy, cleanse my body, help me ground, basically everything kind of with the trees. And I would think it. And, it helped. At that moment, it helped because I felt really lost. And it was again confirmation that the elements I was using, the spirit of the elements, how would she have known that, right? The spirit of the elements, they know you. They see you, they hear you, they feel you. If you use the spirit of the elements, if you use nature, they will help you. It will Mother Earth will help you. It's beautiful, right? It's magical. And I'm somebody who I'm very tuned into energy and nature, and my abilities are more of the premonitions, the dreams, the energy, the all-knowing, the information packages, feeling energy, knowing energy. And that has a lot to do with nature because you can feel it and channel it. And so I know my body, I didn't mean to move like that, but over the years it's gotten a lot stronger and regulating my nervous system. Okay, we're gonna tie this into that. Regulating my nervous system has a lot to do with my channeling because when I'm anxious, it's really difficult and it's really hard to receive or trust what you're receiving when you are in survival mode because you're second guessing yourself, right? You're second, that fear can creep in and you don't know, you can't tell the difference between the fear and your intuition. And so that's why it's actually really important to sit with yourself so you can decipher between the difference of the feelings of the voice of it's basically what they feel like because they feel different. And so mother mother earth, nature has been something that has helped me get in touch with myself and regulate my nervous system and heal it. And this is still a journey doing it, but let's fast forward to now. I am, like I said, I've been using the sun for a long time, but recently, I don't know, something about the sun, I have been feeling incredibly connected. My relationship with the sun has strengthened a lot. And over the course of the past few years, I've always had this thought or idea, this interest in understanding my ancestry because, I am indigenous. I'm mixed, but I am indigenous. I'm Latina, Mexican, but my family comes from Texas when it was Mexico. And so that's on my mom's side. My dad's side is from Mexico. I don't really know. I don't really know. My mom and my dad don't even know. My dad don't even know his family, his mom or his dad. So, but that's all I know. And I always had this interest or this thought that my ancestors, being indigenous, were very in tune with nature, which is a fact, which is we know that. But the sun, the sun particularly, because I do like the moon and I go outside and I'll sit and, but I've always loved the sun. I've always played sports in the sun. Sun has always been my favorite. Summer has always been my favorite season, along with fall, but summer, the sun, I've always been in the sun. And I feel, and this is gonna get woo woo, okay? And there's nothing wrong with woo woo. I don't mean it in a mean way. I'm just gonna get really spiritual. I feel, and I have this inner knowing that the imprint, the ancestral healing through my lineage flows through me. And I've had this said to me before by other people that have read me, and it flows through me. And I intuitively know this, so when I get readings, it's always a confirmation because it just comes out. I don't ask that specific question. It comes out. And so it's always a confirmation, but anyways, it flows through me and I have this knowledge or this feeling that whatever ancestral past lives, whatever it is that I've had or relationship with, they've worshipped the sun. And I I feel that. And it's a beautiful feeling to have, right? Because when you are living this aligned in intentional life of discovering yourself and expanding your magic and finding yourself and trusting spirit because we are spirit, therefore trusting yourself, this relationship between you and the world around you and the energy you can feel expands and grows. And so you start to strengthen your abilities to channel because we're all channelers. We have the ability. There's not one specific person who's lucky to have a gift. We are all spirit. We are all intuitive. We all can channel. There are just some people who can access it easier than others. It's like a muscle. You have to practice. And for me, when I, over these years, being in nature, healing myself, shadow work, it's strengthened. And it's this feeling that whatever past life, like I said, ancestral imprints that I've had, comes out through me, comes out through nature, comes out through me utilizing the elements. And I feel it. Oh, I feel it so fucking deeply. Magical. It's magical. I don't know how else to say it, but my connection to the elements are strong and are growing. When I stand in the sun lately, um, I've been feeling the sun speak back. I feel the sun spirit, sun god, speaking back to me, hugging my body, if that makes fucking sense, hugging my body. And lately, the feeling of the sun speaking back to me, it's something magical. It's like what I felt with trees. And for a while, I got really kind of sad because my connection with the trees when I was living in Hawaii kind of dwindled because of again where I was living was city. When I was living alone, I had trees there everywhere, and I don't know. I was really focused on gaining that relationship back with trees, and I do. I hug trees outside of the gym, and uh, I started doing that every day in front of everybody, and so that's another. You know, it's helping me rejection therapy in a way. But anyways, my relationship with the sun started to strengthen, and then that's when I had that realization, sitting back and saying, "Wow, I really think the trees helped me in that certain time of my life. The water helped me in that certain time of my life." And now the sun is helping me in this certain time of my life. And that's why my relationship with the trees haven't been as strong as they used to because they helped me. They're there and I can speak to them and I can talk to them, yeah. But they're not the leader right now. It's the sun. I don't know. I just think it's beautiful when you are intentionally living your life of just, wanting to realize that we are spiritual beings. There's so much magic to be tapped into, and your soul knows what to do. Your body knows what to do. Your soul knows what to do if you listen to it. And so I just start doing things that feel good. And the things that feel good, like being in the sun, was an important part of my life right now, with a chapter of my life to help me where I am right now. Just like the trees felt good, just like the water felt good. And then later on, because I'm listening to that inner call, that intuition, later on, the information of why it feels good, of why I had that intuitive call to do that, comes forward. And it's okay, well, you're using this as part of your spiritual awakening or discovering yourself. This is helping you. The elements are helping you. I think that's why it's really important to start listening to your intuition. And I'm going to talk about that more. I'm going to make more videos of how to listen to your intuition, how I've learned to listen to my intuition. I want to get more spiritual. I want to get more woo woo. Because and maybe I shouldn't say woo woo. I don't know. I feel like some people see it as a negative thing from what I saw, but woo woo in a good way. I want to really show and express who I am. I guess if there's anything I can say to you guys about it is go out in the sun. If you are feeling anxious, if you are doing homework, if you are studying after a day of work, during your lunch break, go out in the sun and ask the sun to heal you, to ground you, to heal your body with the medicine spiritually and physically. And when you're doing it, breathe. Inhale and exhale. I usually say with every inhale, I imagine all my highest good energy coming back to me from every person, place, or thing, a situation that took it and has it without my permission. And with every exhale, I release all low vibrational energy, energy that doesn't serve me, energy that's not mine, energy that's not for my highest good. And I sit in the sun and I breathe. And with every inhale and exhale, I imagine whatever that looks like, my energy coming back to me and the energy that doesn't serve me leaving my body. And I do that a few times. And I imagine rods on the bottom of my feet connected to the ground and the sun, pouring its medicine over my body like a shower, feeling the rays. And it feels good. So you should try doing that every day and see how you start to feel. Like I said, when you feel frustrated in the morning, it's a way to ground yourself. And not only that, again, vitamin D, right? Your immunity, it lowers blood pressure. There's so many things that go behind it. And, drinking sun water, charging the water. Obviously, the scientific research is the sun kills the bacteria in the water, but I believe again that the energy of the sun heals you internally. I feel like that's why also I'm not drinking caffeine anymore. I went cold turkey on caffeine, going cold turkey on alcohol because it's kickstarting this awakening that I'm in of healing my nervous system. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that. Okay, that's all I want to say. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, if you don't follow me, go ahead and give me a follow. I would love for you to be a part of my family. If you did, if you could give it a thumbs up. If not, it's okay. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching my videos. I will see you guys next video. Bye, everybody.